What's going on, fellas? A couple of you ladies as well. It is Saturday, the 17th of October. We got a lot of football to talk about, but we got ourselves at least one more baseball slate. Actually, you know what? We got a game 7, one of them. So it is the last baseball slate. Not going to be counting, obviously, showdowns. We'll do some showdowns video. I'm just saying, as far as multiple options go for games. This is our last one of the year. Kind of wild that we're here already. Feels like just yesterday we got sports back. I'm going to be sad to see it go, but we still got the World Series to look forward to. And I know a lot of you guys are probably a little bit unhappy right now watching the Astros charge back, and it's scary. I mean, if you're an Astros hater, which it's going to be a lot of them out there, not enjoying watching Tampa Bay kind of give this series away. So let's run through the baseball slate a little bit today. I'll give you my thoughts on it. I'm pretty sure Matt's going to be doing a write-up for paying customers if anybody's interested in that. Day passes are up. Otherwise, grab a full membership. Speaking of grabbing full memberships, because we have more time than we've had in so long, I would encourage anybody who's not already a member, go to the DFS 5-pack website below and grab yourself the NFL-only package for $80. Going to be doing a lot of extra videos, a lot of more attentive answering of questions for customers and things like that going forward. And a big part of that is there's just more time right now. I want to crush football for the next 10 weeks or whatever it is. Going to have a lot of prep time. Going to be able to do a lot more research. This is going to be fun. I am looking forward to going hard on NFL showdowns. Did a couple of Bucks and Packers showdown videos already. And a lot of that will be geared for customers only. So it is a great time. It's under $100. You get everything that we're doing, videos and write-ups and everything that goes along with that. Going to be doing extra answering of questions for customers. It is all out there for you. Go grab the NFL package. Also, I'm going to be running these Twitter contests. My Twitter profile is below. Go do the retweet. We're giving away free information left and right. And then while you're at it, go sign up to play at Overlay Fantasy Sports, guys. I'll be doing a video on this stuff later as well. Matchup Shop's amazing. I know we talked about it a lot. You got to be willing to put your money where your mouth is, though. Yesterday, I liked Freeman over Acuna, and you were getting pretty good odds. But you gotta have bigger stones than that. I just didn't have the stones to bet more than $10, and they should have. But it is what it is. Let's talk about today's DraftKings MLB slate. So it's a lot different today, right? We actually get 4 good starting pitchers at our disposal. And looking at these 4 guys, my favorite one is Lance McCullers, and I will probably never hear me say that ever again. Now, it's completely possible that Tampa Bay flips the script today, gets the momentum back, wins this game, and goes on to the World Series. I'm sure many of y'all are rooting for that, and I can't blame you. I get that. Don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. But McCullers was masterful last time out. He's an industry darling. I know a lot of you guys really, really like him. He gave up 4 runs last time out, too, and that could have spiraled on him. 3 of them were unearned due to an Altuve error, but he was absolutely dominant after that, with the exception of one pitch, and I think it was Zanito hit about a 900-foot home run off of him. Meanwhile, Charlie Morton, who was pretty good, I mean, he got through all of this with smoke and mirrors. It is amazing to me that he was able to get out of that game with 21 points. I watched every pitch of that game, and he was taxed and worked. And Houston hit into bad luck and everything that goes along with it. Now, that doesn't mean that's what's going to happen today, but that's what happened in their most recent outings. Max Fried was brilliant last time out. Really, really, really good. Do you think the Dodgers grabbed the momentum back yesterday? Definitely heard the Atlanta clubhouse is really free and loose, whether they're winning or losing. I am not worried that Atlanta is just going to fold like a cheap tent right now. If I'm worried about anything, it's more the fact that the Dodgers are really good at playing baseball. They're really good offensively, and they could easily have a big game here today feeling good about themselves. So if it's me for my money, I can get the argument for every single one of these starting pitchers. I'm not going to be playing Morton, however. This one's a little bit more of a gut feel, which I think you have to play off a little bit more in the playoffs. And I know a lot of you guys probably don't like that, but I like Houston today, and I'm sure there's probably a bunch of you guys watching this who also kind of like Houston. And you hate that you like Houston, but they have all the momentum right now. And, with a game like this the next day, that's who I like. Now, Houston's bullpen isn't the strongest thing that they have at their disposal, so I think McCullers gets a decent leash as well. So I'm going to start with McCullers, and I'm going to be skipping Morton. I do, however, feel that that's probably going to be a relatively popular decision with all these guys so closely priced that a lot of people are not going to like Charlie Morton. So I do think if you're looking for one of the lower-owned pitchers, I do think he'll be on the lower-owned spectrum, simply based off of just, the years of doing this. And if you're looking to flip the script and be a little bit different, I think he can be so right there. All right, next up, do I want Walker Buehler or Max Fried? Now, that's a tough question, guys. Max Fried out-dueled Walker Buehler last time out. Buehler had 18.5. Max Fried had 26. Fried was just better. Big problem with Walker Buehler, which we've now seen in back-to-back games, 9 walks over 9 innings. It could be the blister. And I know he's still battling that one a little bit. I don't think he's nervous. I don't get that kind of vibe from him. He's still striking guys out. If it's me, gun to head, I prefer Walker Buehler. They're basically the same amount of money. But I'm going to assume that the Buehler McCullers, kind of getting up to that spot right there, is going to be a little bit more popular. I'm just guessing. I don't have any great numbers on that one. And there's only 4 pitchers on the slate, it's not like anybody's coming in that's super low owned. I mean, the thing is, even if you go grab Charlie Morton, you're not getting him at 2%, right? He's going to be at least 25, 30% or something like that. So, yes, you can get an edge on the field, but you still have to beat out a lot of other people that also use him in order for that to be the money play. So, let's challenge ourselves as much as possible. Let's go with Walker Buehler and Lance McCullers. As far as hitters go, at the catching position, I think Will Smith is your best option. However, you can't spend up on everybody. So for me, I'm going to take a look at Will Smith or Martine Maldonado. I guess it's possible Austin Barnes makes the lineup too. I just find that unlikely. Will Smith got off the schneid yesterday. Good hitter, middle of the lineup for a good team. Otherwise, Maldonado, 8 of 14 with 2 doubles off of Charlie Morton, and he's less money. I mean, you can't spend up in every single position. So, let's roll with Maldonado. As far as first baseman go, this is a position where you might have a multitude of guys who could be at your disposal. You could have Guriel down there for $2,900. And quite frankly, I haven't watched every pitch of the playoffs. Not going to sit here and tell you I have. I've been less than impressed by Yuli Guriel. However, dude had 3 walks yesterday. Gotta like that. That is a sign of a guy hopefully about to bust out if you're, rooting on the Astros. He is 3 of 6 off of Morton. That's not a lot of information to go off with it. It's better than nothing. So it is something. Now, I'm going to probably play with Guriel and go all the way down right there. Or if you want to go all the way up to Freddie Freeman, who's just quite frankly one of, if not the best hitter left in the game, in all the series, right? It's either probably him or Mookie Betts, or if you want to make an argument for Bellinger, I completely understand, or Corey Seager, great. But he's one of the best players left. So I'm going to go up or I'm going to go down. Yuli Guriel is a very, very cheap player who looks like he's about to get things going, though. And as much as I'd like Freddie Freeman, does have a couple of home runs off of Walker Buehler. I don't really want to pick on Walker Buehler. Buehler's had his struggles lately, but he's still only given up 5 hits in those 2 games. And hits get you a lot more points than runs do, or walks do. He just doesn't give up a lot of hits. People struggle to make hard contact against him, as most of you all already know. So I think Guriel would be my answer right here. At second base, you got Albies. You got Chris Taylor probably batting at the bottom of the lineup. I don't know. This is a spot for me. I mean, Kiki Hernandez might make the lineup, but maybe in limited at-bats. I like the idea of getting up to Altuve. Brought him up on the public show yesterday. He was awesome. Got us 18 points yesterday. He's making up for it at the plate, what he's doing in the field. I hate it, but I like the Astros today. So now I'm a little Astros heavy, but those are 3 guys that allow me to build my lineup a little bit easier. Next up, Bregman is an Astro that I'm very, very fine with just skipping right over. He has got some good playoff experience in his career. He does not look great to me right now, so I'm probably going to skip over him. Edwin Rios was a guy I mentioned yesterday. Didn't make the lineup. I don't expect him to make the lineup again today. It's a lefty on lefty spot. Probably not going to be in there. So that gives you Justin Turner or paying down to a guy like Yandy Diaz as your 2 possibilities right here. Justin Turner against the lefty and Max Fried kind of started getting going the last couple of days. Get me some Dodgers exposure right there. I feel pretty good with that. But if you want to pay down to like a Yande Diaz who might make the lineup, rock and roll. Okay. Then you got yourself Adames, Swanson, Correa, or Seager. No Seager, no cash yesterday is really what it comes down to. This guy's got 3 monster games in the series. The only day he wasn't monster was the day when I bet the field over him. Obviously, or bet him over the field. Obviously, I was 100% wrong on that one. And I think you get him at a little lower ownership today by his lofty standards, specifically because it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup. I used a bunch of Correa yesterday. He was pretty good. It wasn't as good as Seager, though, and that was a mistake, especially when you feel like that's the rough part about these slates, right? I feel like I got a lot of things right yesterday, but I didn't get Corey Seager right. So no Seager, you didn't win any real money. I can get up. You can only play so much from each team. And if you need to get down to Adames to get, maybe if you really like Mookie Betts, for example, I get it. It's not the worst punt play in the world. Let's come back to this position, though. So then we move over into the outfield. And what do we have at our cheaper disposal? Obviously, we've seen Pache move up price-wise. So he's not going to be there as like super, super, super cheap. However, Kyle Tucker and Reddick are really, really cheap. So I think Tucker's a guy batting in the middle of that lineup I like. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm very Astros heavy right here. And I also like George Springer. So this might lead me into a position that in my optimal lineup, I'll just play Corey Seager. It's lefty on lefty, but I'm going to want to get some Dodgers exposure right there. And then that sticks me with, I don't know, AJ Pollock right here, fine. Probably can't get to Michael Brantley because I got too many Dodgers. If you want to move things around so you can get up to Mookie Betts, completely on board. He's a really good baseball player. Maybe if you like Betts more than Seager because righty versus lefty, I can completely understand that. Maybe you punt with Swanson right here, or you go with Adames. Neither of these guys are perfect options. You're probably going to get some innings against the Dodgers bullpen because Buehler has his pitch counts, go up on him pretty quickly, so I can get on board with that as well. Ultimately, I'm probably going to be heavy Dodgers and Astros, specifically Astros. But I don't think I'm alone by liking the Astros right here. So if you want to go a different route, I definitely think the Rays are going to be low owned today. So from a contrarian stack standpoint, that makes a lot of sense as well, in my opinion. But, if I had one lineup, I would probably be heavy on the Astros. And as much as I like McCullers, I'm fully aware there's a lot of other slates I don't like McCullers for a reason, because when he's bad, he can be real bad. So I expect McCullers to get plenty of love today. And I think stacking Tampa is a great alternative method in GPPs. Probably not going to go very heavy there with my money, but I can absolutely get on board with that because, again, we know who Lance McCullers is, and he's got a lot of really good starts in recent memory. But don't forget, included in those good starts, is the start at Oakland where he gave up 3 home runs. There's the game against the Angels where he had to be axed, early in the game because he couldn't get anybody out. There's a start at San Diego where he was not very good. So he is capable of that, and even though I like him today, I can completely get on board with the alternative type of build here of going heavy on Tampa Bay. So that's what I got today, guys. Don't forget to head on over to the 5-pack website. Grab yourself one of those NFL packages. Let's go real heavy and real hard on the NFL for the rest of the year. Thank you, fellas.